I pray that everyone is doing well today. As you can see from the title, we are talking about not staying in a relationship for the kids. Okay? Do not stay in a relationship, a marriage, whatever title you want to put on it. Do not stay because of the kids. Okay? Um, this is alive. I just like to state that because sometimes people don't know after you've gotten off. So this is a live. So if you're watching this after the live, just know, okay? Also, the reason, uh, first of all, I'm going to give you 2 reasons why you should not stay in a relationship for the children. And I'm going to give you 2 reasons why you are probably staying in a relationship for the children, okay? So, guys, if you've watched any of my other videos, you know that I like to talk about real things, okay? I like to talk about things that people deal with on an everyday basis because not talking about it is not doing anything for us, all right? Pretending that there's nothing wrong is not doing anything for us, okay? So I want to talk about these things, all right? And I will talk about these things. And hey, if you get any value out of any of this, please like, share, subscribe, whatever the case may be. I'm kind of prolonging a little just in case someone joins. And, when you're doing a live, people jump in it in the middle sometimes and they miss the other points that you're trying to make. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and jump right into it though. And please, if you jump into the middle of this live, then go back and watch the whole thing, okay? And I'll say that throughout because if you're watching it now, you're watching it at the beginning. Anyway, so 2 reasons why you should not stay in a relationship for the children, and 2 reasons why you probably are staying in a relationship for the children, okay? So reason number 1 why you should not stay in a relationship for the children, and I'm just looking at my notes, guys, okay? Number 1, you're not helping them, you're hindering them, all right? You are not helping them, you're hindering them. And here's the thing about that. A lot of people think, well, if we split up, it's going to damage the kids. So, a lot of people, they come up with the logic of, well, I came from a broken home, I wanted my parents to stay together and they didn't, and it took a toll on me, whatever the case may be. So a lot of people say, well, we're just going to stay together for the children, even though we don't love each other like we used to or like we thought we did. Okay, we can respect each other and just live together for the kids and even with the benefits, right? A lot of people stay together for benefits, which that's not right either. Okay, so the reason why I say you're not helping them by staying together, you're not helping the children, you're only hindering them, is because they will learn from you how they should be in a marriage. They will learn from you how they should act in a relationship, okay? And if it's a toxic relationship, they're going to learn that too. If it's a toxic relationship, they are going to either be that toxic person in the relationship or they are going to choose a toxic person to be in a relationship with. Hi, guys. Thanks for joining. And let me know if you can identify with this because, hey, we know that there are a lot of broken homes, okay? There are a lot of children being raised by single parents, but there are also a lot of children in homes where both parents are together, but it's a toxic relationship, right? Thank you so much, chemistry. It's a toxic relationship, all right? So look, they're going to learn from you, all right? I wanted to share this really quick because this came to me as I was preparing to talk about this when I said they're going to learn from you, right? Thank you so much, Carolina. I love these earrings too. I have so many colors, okay? I have like a pack of them and I love my earrings, okay? I really like my earrings. So thank you. So talking about these toxic relationships, right? And how children will learn from you, okay? Without realizing it, okay? I was in a relationship and there was this guy that I was with. It was a very toxic relationship. And I'll never forget, he called me the B word, right? Now, he said it one time and I just, kind of got, we were going back and forth. And then in another argument, he said it again. And I'll never forget, I was so mad. And I told him, I said, don't you ever call me that word again. And you know what he said to me? With a straight face, he said, my dad always said it to my mom. That's what he said, though. My dad always said it to my mom. And I looked at him and I said, just because your dad did it, it doesn't make it right. But that's part of the problem, guys. We as parents, your parents, my parents, their parents, are supposed to train us up in the way that we should go. They're supposed to raise us. They are responsible for raising us, right? Now, this is no shot to parents or ourselves, because here's the thing, don't be so hard on yourself. What you didn't know, you just didn't know, okay? You picked up your characteristics and mannerisms from the person who taught you how to be. You know what I'm saying? But for him to say that with a straight face, my daddy did it to my mama all the time. That's what he said. And that was his reason for calling me the B word, because he saw the man who was supposed to teach him how to treat women do it to his mom, right? And I told him, just because your dad did it to your mom, it doesn't mean it's right. And he couldn't say anything. He just looked, you know? It's almost like he couldn't fathom that. But he didn't say it again, okay? And I want to point this out as well. A lot of people, they think that even if they don't love each other and they stay together for the children, as long as it's not a toxic relationship and it's a civil one, that's okay. Like, we're good. Everything is good. But here's the thing, though. I think a lot of the times we don't give children as much credit as we should, right? Because we think they don't notice things at times, right? And here's the thing about that. Think about when you were younger. Didn't you notice things? We were children too. Did you not notice certain things? Did you not notice certain things that your parents did or how they acted around each other? Didn't you notice that? So why don't we give our children as much credit? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We don't give them enough credit, right? So again, even if you say, well, we don't love each other, but we're going to stay together for the children, right? Don't you think the children notice you sleeping in separate bedrooms? Like, don't you think they notice if there's love between you two? And if they're not seeing love, they're seeing something else, okay? They notice things, all right? Even if you so-called have this civil relationship, right? Where you both work, you come home and whatever the case may be. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Let's paint a scenario, because this is how it would be, especially if both parents are just living separate lives, okay? You know what I mean? One person comes home and hi. Hi. Thank you for joining. So listen, one spouse comes home and you don't think the kids notice the energy or the spirit that comes into the home with you. It's like they're sitting at the table with the mom or the dad and they're eating, right? But now you come in and you might speak to the children. You might, I don't know, you might just go on to the refrigerator and get you something to drink or whatever. And the most you might say to the spouse is, hey, say something about bills or something, whatever the case may be. People are going to know. The children are going to notice how you guys interact with each other. That's the point I'm trying to get across. They're going to know, even if you're there, they're going to know that something's off about this, right? So, but again, you are showing them that it's okay to be in a loveless marriage. Okay? This is just terrible. Child lives are ruined by. The children do need more respect. And what I'm sharing is, reasons why we should not stay in a relationship for the kids. because kids are affected in more ways than we realize. All right. Um, and then here's the thing too. Here's the thing about it. If you're showing your children how to be in a loveless marriage, you're showing them that it's okay to not love my wife or my husband as long as we stay together for the kids, right? Or as long as we stay together for the benefits. But here's the thing about that too. A lot of the times, if you're in a loveless marriage and you're just staying together for the children, I don't care who you are, everybody needs some kind of affection. All right? Everybody needs some kind of affection. Everybody craves some kind of affection with someone. All right? Communication. You know what I'm saying? Just being able to talk to somebody, right? Eventually, if it hasn't already happened, someone's going to start talking to someone else other than the spouse. If they are in a loveless marriage, if they are just staying together for the children, because what's keeping you there? What's keeping you from wanting affection from someone? Okay, does that make sense? I hope it makes sense, guys. All right. So, but you're hindering them because they will grow up not being able to thrive and grow in a relationship. All right. So anyway, another reason why you should not stay in a relationship for the children is because they might not understand now, but they will later. Or I don't know if I should say that's a reason why you shouldn't stay, more so than a reason why you probably feel like you should stay. You probably think you should stay because, okay, sometimes kids will definitely guilt the parent into believing that it's like, oh, this is gonna ruin me if you leave, right? I don't understand why is daddy leaving, why is mommy leaving, whatever the case may be. And this is more of a point for the parent. You have to realize that they, even though they might not understand now, I believe they will later. I believe they will later. You know what I'm saying? As children, we don't understand. We notice things, but a lot of times we can't really fathom why a certain thing is happening, especially mommy and daddy are splitting up. Is it because of me? Stuff like that. They question things like that, right? But I believe that even though they don't understand when they're young, they understand as they get older. And I go back to us being children, right? We understood more than our parents gave us credit for. We knew more than our parents gave us credit for, right? Like we probably didn't say certain things to our parents, but we knew certain things. We recognized certain things, right? So we need to give every child that benefit. We need to look at every child like that, right? So, but you being a child and now as an adult, don't you understand a lot more now? I mean, maybe you still hold some grudges against a parent for whatever. But in talking about, if we're focusing on the factor of your parents being together and perhaps they separated or they stayed together, okay? But as an adult, you might say to yourself, I wish they would have gotten a divorce, or I understand now why they did get a divorce. That's usually how it goes, okay? You know what I'm saying? That's usually how it goes. And so there are usually two types of kids in a loveless marriage. There are usually two types of kids who have parents who are in a loveless marriage but are still together, okay? And those are the kids who do want their parents to stay together and those who don't want their parents to stay together. I have heard both sides, okay? So you might have heard I've heard some children say, or some adults actually, I have heard adults say, I wish my parents would have gotten a divorce because all they did was fight and fuss and argue. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times as a child, you wouldn't dare say that to your parents, right? You wouldn't say that to your parents. So if you're in a situation like that, okay, as a parent right now, and you're in a toxic relationship, a loveless marriage, but you're staying together for the children. Think about how the children might be feeling every time they see you argue and fuss and fight. Who wants to deal with that? Who wants to deal with that kind of toxicity? And the sad part is the children can't do anything about it. They don't have any control over the situation, right? It's sad. It's really sad for a child to be in a situation like that. It really is, okay? But then they're the ones who want their parents to stay together, regardless of the fighting and the fussing, even though it's affecting them. And that's the crazy thing about it, right? That's the crazy thing about it, right? They want their parents to stay together. Hallelujah. My daughter woke up, guys. I think I'm going to have to do a part 2 to this because she woke up. I'm going to say bye for now, okay? And I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back after I put her back to sleep, okay? I know. Let me see. She is so funny. I might just take you guys with me. I might just take you guys. Well, let me see. I might just take you guys with me. I'm in the room. She's asleep. Well, she's up now. Come on, honey. And oh gosh, I'm not gonna put her on camera because she's yeah, no, she looks like she just woke up. But I am going to just hold her while I finish up, okay? And thank you, Caroline. Thank you, Carolina. I called you Caroline. I'm sorry. Thank you, Carolina, for staying with me. Oh, watch the full because I missed the beginning. Yeah, watch the full. Hey, how you doing? Hey, that's one of my day one friends right there. Oh, so okay. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and continue going. Okay. I'm actually in Washington State right now, guys. My husband and I live here. Okay. So, yeah, we're just going to keep it going. All right. Hopefully, she goes back to sleep. Okay. She's 2. All right. Anyway, so thank you guys for your patience. Anyway, so listen. So yeah, that's what I was saying. Some kids actually want their parents to stay together, but that goes to show that they don't even realize how that toxic relationship is affecting them. You know, they don't realize it, right? So let's see. Um, Hallelujah. So let's keep going, okay? Um, let's keep going. So I want to jump into one of the reasons why you are probably staying in a relationship for the children. All right. One of the reasons why, and if you came in the middle of this, please go back and watch, the beginning. But one of the reasons why you're probably staying in a relationship for the children, or why your parents probably did that, is you're doing it for selfish reasons. Selfish reasons. Okay? Let's dig into that more. It's If you're doing it for selfish reasons, number one, it's not all about their well-being to you, okay? And you might not even realize, a lot of times we could justify why we're doing a thing, okay? And it's like, but you're really doing it for selfish reasons. But you'll tell yourself, no, the kids need 2 parents, we should stay together for this and that. But no, the reason why you could be doing it for a selfish reason is because, if we're being honest, okay, part of the reason why some people want to stay in a marriage is because they're putting on a front, okay? They want to save face. They want people to think that everything is good in their marriage, right? Even with that, a person may have been through failed marriages, failed relationships, guys, right? Me personally, and I've shared my story before, I have 3 baby daddies, okay? Let's just put it like that. Simply put, 3 baby daddies, okay? And it's like, yeah, at one point I thought to myself, man, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to leave and get with somebody else. And then I have another child by another guy. And then even with that, it was, I even said to myself after I did leave those toxic relationships or unfruitful relationships, I said to myself, well, I might as well just stay by myself, because I don't want to get with somebody else and then have another baby by another guy. You know what I'm saying? And I have made a lot of foolish decisions in my life, guys. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of the times, why some people stay together in a toxic relationship or a loveless marriage is because it's a selfish reason. They want to save face. They don't want people to look at them and say, oh, well, another failed marriage, another failed relationship, whatever the case may be. They don't want people to do that. They don't want people to look at them like that, and neither do they want to go through that again, right? You know what I'm saying? And I get it, but we're not doing the kids a service, we're doing a disservice. Okay, we're doing the kids a disservice. All right. So, moving on, and this is the last point, guys. And I thank you for all who have stayed with me through this. Okay, put this little girl back to sleep soon. Anyway, another reason why a person may stay in a relationship for the children is because they think it's the right thing to do. All right, they think it's the right thing to do. But even with that, especially if it's a toxic relationship, guys, you're only creating another generation of toxicity. You're only creating generations of toxic relationship after toxic relationship, right? And the way this happens is because you probably saw your parents do it, whatever the case may be, or it might have just been you. But now your kids are doing it. Their kids are doing it. You see what I'm saying? You're creating a generation of toxicity because the kids keep seeing the same thing. I can speak from personal experience in my own family, and this is just being honest. Um, I have a lot of aunties, and growing up, there were a lot of broken homes, okay, single parent households, and I never saw a picture of a good marriage. I saw broken homes. I saw women dealing with married men. You know what I'm saying? That's what I saw. That's what I saw. So when you're trained a certain way, when you see something, you start to think that it's right. And that's what happens with children. A lot of children who are in who are in a household with two parents who, you know, stay together for the children, even though they don't love each other or it's a toxic relationship, they think that this is normal. Okay, let me share something. I spoke to a little girl about her parents divorcing, and she cried about it, and she told me how everything was good, and then they got a divorce, and now everything's so bad. Now here's the thing. I personally know the situation. Okay, I know the situation. The relationship, her parents' relationship was very toxic, very toxic. Fighting, fussing, like fighting, not like we're just fussing, we're using our words. No, we're fighting, we're punching holes in the walls, knives are being pulled out. You know what I'm saying? That kind of toxicity. And for her to say that everything was good, it let me know that that had become normal for her. And that's a dangerous place to be when you have witnessed your parents fight and fuss and argue so much, but you don't see anything wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? And it's become normal to you. It's like, wow. So that says that you choosing a relationship that models that would is there's a high probability of you choosing a relationship that models the one that your parents had because it was normal to you, right? Um and guys, here's the thing. The parents showed them who to be with. The parents showed them that this is normal, that it's okay to stay in a relationship like that, but it's not, right? And I'm winding down now, but here's the thing, guys. This is why, again, these same children, just like us, these same children will grow up to be adults. These same children will grow up to be adults, okay? And they will grow up to have these issues and these problems and not want to talk about their problems and not know what's going on, not knowing why they continue to choose the wrong type of guys or girl, women or men. They won't know, you know? And a lot of the times, talking about it is just as hard as recognizing it, okay? I am not against therapy, all right? A lot of people equate therapy with being crazy, but I am not against therapy. I believe that anybody would benefit from therapy because it's a therapist's job to, they have a way of getting to the root of a problem. And that's the thing right there, guys. These same children that I'm talking about, we were children once, right? And if you look back over your life, if you really sat and reflected on your life and said, why do I think like this? Why do I choose men like this? Why do I choose women like this? It will probably 99.9% of the time go back to something from your childhood. But a lot of the times people don't want to revisit their childhood because it's too painful, right? It's too painful. But not acknowledging or reflecting on your painful childhood is not going to make things change in your present life. It's not going to make things change in your adult life, guys. We have to acknowledge certain things and recognize certain things. And I want to share this because I got to the point, and praise God, I got to the point where the Lord took me. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, but I moved to Arkansas for the wrong reason, following that same guy who called me the B word, okay? Following him. But I always say what the devil meant for bad, God meant it for good because I prospered so much there after I left him within less than a year, okay? But here's the thing. Um, After I left and I was living on my own, it was me and my children. I had 3 sons at the time. As I reflected, I sat and I reflected, because I wanted change in my life, but I sat and I reflected, right? And the crazy thing is, I thought about how my oldest son, no, I thought about how elementary school, I had gone to 5 different schools, guys. Now, elementary only goes to 5th grade. Okay. I actually went to a school also, one of the schools that I transferred to, it went to grade 7th as an elementary school. But elementary only goes to 5 grades. I went to a different school in elementary school 5 times, which means there was no stability in the home. You know what I'm saying? That means I was moving around, with my mom and living with my grandmother at times and stuff like that. But here's what I'm getting to. I've sat and thought about my life, and then the Lord reminded me, my oldest son, the same thing had happened to him. The same thing. There was no stability in my life up until that point, and he had been switched to 5 different schools. Like, how does that happen? It was the same amount of times, too. Like, that's crazy. But that's because I had no stability in my life. But I'm sharing this point to say this. I was doing the same thing my mom had done. I was doing the same thing that I was taught without being taught. You see what I'm saying? I was doing the same thing. But by getting alone with myself and allowing the Lord to dig deep, okay? Allowing myself to be unafraid to dig deep, I came to that realization. And because I came to that realization, I was able to acknowledge the problem. And then I was able to make a change. You know what I'm saying? Because I wanted to change. But that's the problem right there. A lot of people don't want to acknowledge certain things that happen to them. And we have to, guys. That's the only way you can be set free. Okay? That's the only way you can be set free. All right? But it would be great if you started at the foundation by choosing the right person to be with. And that's a whole different story right there. Okay? But it can happen. You can raise godly children. You can raise a child up the right way, in the right way they're supposed to go. And guess what? They're going to raise their children in the right way that they're supposed to go, right? Okay. So, guys, I really hope you got something from this. You know what I'm saying? As I shared the reasons why you should not stay in a relationship for the children, and why some people stay in a relationship for the children is because you're not helping them, you're hindering them. Um, it's because the kids, they may not understand, but later they will. Okay. It's also because you're doing it for selfish reasons. Okay. Because you want to save face and you don't want yet another failed marriage or another failed relationship. All right. And it's also because you think that what you're doing is right, but it's not. You're creating a generation of toxic relationships, toxic children. And again, we feel sorry, we when it comes to kids, they're innocent. Yes, they are. But kids get into stuff too, okay? But we look at kids like, I don't know. I think again, we don't give kids enough. We don't give them enough credit because they notice things, okay? But we're not thinking these same children are gonna grow up to be adults, and these are the types of adults that are gonna make the same kind of decisions that I did or that your parents did, being in a toxic relationship, and then they're gonna have kids and they're gonna teach their kids the same thing without teaching them. Or with teaching them. Some people teach, hey, get this kind of man, get you somebody with some money, get it, whatever the case may be. Okay? Guys, I don't know. I hope this blessed you. I encourage you, if you're in a toxic relationship, get out. Now, I will say this, I'm not an advocate for telling people to divorce, but I am an advocate for telling people to get out of a toxic relationship. Get out of a loveless marriage, okay? Um, because if it's toxic, chances are there's some kind of abuse there. There's a high chance there is, even if we don't want to admit it. I remember someone I know made a comment one time that she was, in an abusive relationship, and she would have like a black eye or bruises and stuff. And I remember thinking, I told her, like, what is going on here? And she made the comment, you better believe if somebody is hitting on me, they're getting hit back. But she said it like it made it okay that she was defending herself. And it's like, that's still not okay. You staying in an abusive relationship and you fighting them back, so you abusing them too, does not make it okay. It's almost to say, like, well, yeah, he's hitting me, but I'm not just taking it laying down, I'm hitting him back. So two wrongs don't make it right. It does not make it right. Get out of that relationship. Again, I don't advocate for people to get divorces, but I do advocate for people to get out of toxic relationships, whether that's a marriage or not. Okay? And that's why I know I'm going on and on, but that's why I have a problem with certain pastors who really get onto other people, or the pastors as well, who advocate for divorce, because they'll say, oh, that's something that'll get you sent to hell, because God hates divorce and all this and that. And you telling this person to get a divorce is wrong. You're not supposed to do that. Well, here's the thing. First of all, the word says that what God has put together, let no man put asunder. Okay. Let nobody separate. A lot of these marriages God didn't put together. That's number one. That's the first misconception when it comes to marriage. If every marriage was from the Lord, then a person marrying an AI robot would be a real marriage. That would be something the Lord put together, and we know the Lord didn't put that together. Come on now, let's be real, okay? A person marrying an animal. We know the Lord didn't put that together. That's not a real marriage. But I have a problem with pastors saying that, because you have people who are in a marriage because they chose wrong, right? And then you have the pastor who says, no, you just got to stay together. I heard a pastor say that. Well, if they treat you like this, you just gotta pray. You just gotta stay together. That is so ignorant. Because in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, so they just gotta stay together. But then when we turn on the TV and we see these people, somebody has gotten killed, because they just have to stay together. You know what I'm saying? And one of the parents has gotten killed. Now the other parent's in jail and the kids don't have either parent. Then what? What are you going to say then? Well, that's who they chose. No, no, no. The devil is a liar. Get out of that toxic relationship. Get out of that toxic marriage in the name of Jesus. Guys, I pray this blessed you. Go back and watch the full live, if you want to. Like, share, subscribe. Subscribe. I always say subscribe if you want to. I don't want any pity subscribers. I want you to subscribe if you want to, because I want authentic subscribers, because I try to be authentic and I am being authentic. I'm not going to say try. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Carolina. Bless you, girl. Bless you. Hallelujah. I really appreciate it. This is no small thing for you guys to, come and just listen to what I have to say. Hallelujah. And so I'm going to be putting out a video tomorrow, and I might go live. I don't know. We'll see. But, you guys, I pray that you have a great day, okay? A great, blessed day. May the Lord cause his face to shine upon you and have a beautiful day, okay? Bye.